Hi, my name's Kevin. I'm the owner of ElderNetHub.com. I recently came out with a book that's available on Amazon and Kindle called Swipe Right for Care. It's a home care marketing blueprint for new agencies and established agencies that are looking to leverage social media to get more clients, get more caregivers, get more referrals, get more reviews. And today we're going to go over 7 quick tips that you can do as a home care agency owner to make yourself stand out by using social media. So let's jump right in. First and foremost, agencies come to me, uh, they've just opened up an agency, or they're an agency that's been established that they they're nervous to go out and market, to be perfectly blunt, or they're all over the place. They don't know where to go. So I try to keep things super simplistic in the beginning. You can branch out eventually, but the 3 tenets, the 3 core demographics that I tell my clients to focus on is number one, obviously, the home care client, the person that we're looking to become their care provider. Obviously, that's your bread and butter. Then going into your community, your referral sources, your medical professionals, your healthcare professionals, your elder care attorneys, your discharge planners, your social workers, your doctors, nurse practitioners, assisted living nursing homes, et cetera, having great marketable material, slick looking professional so that you don't come off as a Joe Schmo, fly by night, just opened up home care agency owner. You want to look professional, polished. The third demographic, which I personally, in my belief, think is the most important, other than the actual, offering care to a senior or disabled person that needs it, is focusing on respite care. The really good home care agencies know how to leverage that, know how to corner that market by putting out empathetic, poignant pieces, social media marketing, focusing on respite care, focusing on that mom that's working a full-time job, that's taking her kids to soccer, that's cooking, that's cleaning, the dad that's working, that third shift, but still coming home and taking care of a loved one that, just got a diagnosis of early onset dementia, or is a fall hazard, or has Parkinson's, and they're burning the candle at both ends. And when you can make marketing materials that speak to that family caregiver in a way that doesn't make them feel less than because they're not, doing everything, which no human should have to do that. You're there to offer a helping hand in their time of need. You're there as backup, right? We want to show them and thank them for being an amazing family care provider, but you're there to offer quality of life to them and to their loved one. And when you can paint that image, when you can tell that story through your marketing, you're going to do great. So understanding your audience, marketing to those 3 demographics, that is absolutely huge. Now we're going to get into a real pet peeve of mine. And that is something, if you're following me on social media, I hate stock photography. I know hate's a strong word, but honestly, when I go into an area and I'm looking at a potential client and their competition, and I have 3 monitors open, and I'm looking at different websites, and everybody's using the same caregiver. Everybody's using that same picture of that woman in the wheelchair with the rosy cheeks. We all know who I'm talking about. That woman is the most famous senior of all time. When you don't separate yourself from your competitor, we're jaded because we're in the home care industry, so this is what you eat, sleep, and breathe. But for that family member that's never used a home care provider before, and they're going through Google and they're going through different websites, and they see the same image over and over and over and over again of the same thing with the same flat static story, we're a home care agency and this is what we do, and this is a representation of what our agency is, it doesn't speak to you. Think of home care as a hand, right? Or a glove, but underneath that glove, every hand has a separate, you know, fingerprint. Every agency has the ability to create their own backstory, to create their story of why. Why did you start this home care agency? Who is your star caregiver? Who's your employee of the month? That's different from every other agency in your neighborhood because it's your specific story. And when you tell it right, you're going to see a huge boom to your business because people love to see real. Stay away from stock photography. I tell all of my clients to get a really good professional, photo release for your care staff, for your employees, and for your families, because when you use those photos, you're going to see a big difference, a big jump in your business. Being consistent in social media is huge. I was taking on a client. I look at their page, right? I'm always sniffing around. I want to see what they're doing before I, make a judgment as to, what we're going to do. What's the game plan for your agency? Again, because every agency is different. Everyone has a strong and a weak point. They literally, their last blog was about a new pandemic called COVID. If that's you, if your last blog post is about COVID, right? That's an issue because you're not staying up to times. What you need to do is need to have fresh material every week. We live in an informational age. You have the ability to write blogs, to use AI, to tell real stories, to educate, to just do simple photos of you and your care staff going out for coffee or taking a gift basket to a caregiver or a sick client, a day in the life of a caregiver. That's the kind of stuff, that moves the needle, that lets you stay top of mind to people that are hopefully following your page, right? So being consistent, a couple of times a week, even a day, even at least once a day, 3-4 times a week, putting something out there just to stay top of mind so that your community knows who you are. Video is absolutely huge. People trust faces. When you're able to talk about who you are, what your plan is, what your care staff is, as opposed to, again, that flat, static, stagnant photo of the same caregiver with the same senior client. When they're able to put a face with a name and a voice, they feel comfortable using your services. It could be something as simple as, tips from your staff or a birthday party or something that you want to promote, just some kind of video clip that shows real life behind the scenes of what's going on at your agency. It sparks interest. It makes people know that you're real. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be something relevant, new, and something that is going to get attention for you and your agency. Education is huge. And I found this working when I was at the Institute for Professional Care Education. Can't even get the word out. See, nothing's perfect, right? At the Institute for Professional Education, we did home care and home health care nursing CEUs for people that had to stay in licensure, right? And it was so funny because so many people in our business wanted all the states with the highest regulation. And I sat back because I'm an outside of the box thinker, right? And I know the states that didn't need education. I said, you know what? That's where I want to focus, because when a home care agency would go out and say that, yeah, in our state, we do not have to have a certain amount of hours for our home care providers. They could be a welder one day, a home care provider the next. But when you're able to market the fact that your caregiver staff is highly educated, that they've taken these 12 hours of educational modules, that makes a person want to pick up the phone. Education is huge. Education is absolutely huge. My tagline when I was selling education was, the more you know, the more you'll grow. And it's true. We came up with a system, helped design a thing called the Family Learning Center. And that was an absolute huge boom. We put off these videos for home care agencies to use as a marketing piece. And we saw people picking up clients by just offering education. And now you have the ability to do that right on your site, offering education to your community. Imagine, I always tell people to take yourself out of being a home care agency owner and think about this. You're searching through the internet looking for a home care provider, and you come across a site, and your mom just got diagnosed with something, and she's a potential fall hazard. And there's a video on here from this home care agency where it's a woman or a gentleman that runs the home care agency with their care provider, and they're doing a walkthrough video of how to avoid falls in the home, how to move cords, how to get rid of throw rugs, how to get rid of tripping hazards. Don't you think that family, instead of that flat photo with that same caregiver and that same senior in the wheelchair with the rosy cheeks, They see this video of you educating how to keep mom safe, how to install a grab bar in the bathroom, how to do these certain tasks around the home to keep mom or dad safe. Don't you think that's going to make them want to pick up the phone and have a conversation with you? Something as simple as a 5-minute video, 3-minute video, 2-minute video, just a video, something showing that you are offering education or just listen. You're not a client, but we're putting this education out here because of the fact that we care for your mom or dad, for seniors in our area, that we lose close to 40,000 seniors a year to falls in the home, in bathrooms. And this is something that you can do to keep mom and dad safe. That's the kind of thing that it might not be this day, but it's going to be someday where it's beyond their ability to take care of their loved one, that they're going to pick up the phone and go, you know what, we watched that video, stuck in the back of my mind, and we want to make sure that, our mom is safe, and we're going to use your services. So educate is absolutely huge. Leveraging your testimonials and reviews. I always tell people a review in home care is the highest honor that you could possibly ever get. I'd be standing on a stage talking to home care agency owners, right? And I'd quickly ask somebody, where's the best pizza in your town? And somebody can rattle off Joe's Pizza, because you know what? At the end of the day, right? It's just a pizza. If I don't like the pizza, I'm from Philly. I like a very specific pizza pie, right? People in Chicago like a very specific pizza pie. But at the end of the day, it's just a pizza pie, right? If you get a bad one, so what? You go somewhere else. But if I were to go, listen, my mom has cognitive issues. She's partially blind. She's a fall hazard. She's also diabetic, and she just overcame cancer. And she's not doing well, and we need a home care provider to come into our home, right? You get that business, and you do an amazing job, right? When that person gives you that review, right? When that person sits and gives you a Google review, that is worth its weight in gold. Because when that's out there, right? When you're able to show that to other families that are going through a particular situation just like yours, and you have that, you can absolutely corner the market. But getting back to like the whole pizza idea, for that family member to give you a review, right? Like they have to really trust you. But the one thing that I come across time and time again with home care agency owners is a lot of times they're afraid to ask because they don't want to think that they're doing a bad job. They don't want to hear bad news. And honestly, it's better that you get it out of the way, right? If you can ask a family and say, listen, we'd just like to know if we could have a review on our home care agency. You're going to find out good, bad, or indifferent how you're doing it. But that's a good thing because you'd rather have that than someone bad-mouthing you down the road. Find out, fix an issue right from the get-go. But when you do get that review, oh man, when someone lands on your Google page and they can see 15, 20, 30, 100 reviews of you with 5-star care, that is absolutely a game changer and something that you could market to your referral sources, to families, to people that are in the same situation. Because that's the first thing. Like when I go to make a purchase on Amazon, right? The second thing I do after I'm looking at the actual item is I go right to the reviews. And I want to see, I know there's sometimes people aren't going to like certain things. I get that. But if the vast majority of them are 5 stars, I feel more confident in that purchase, right? As we do with everything. And in home care, it is like getting a review, like I said, is such a badge of honor. And if you get it, it's a game changer. Call to actions that feel natural. So once you have your site up and your marketing, you have to have a way of like creating your own sales funnel, like asking for a free care consultation. Save this post. So when you're, researching care options, visit our site to learn more about this service. Offer a free PDF. You can create a PDF and just say, hey, email here if you've read this blog on fall prevention and you'd like to learn more. Here's a punch list that you can print out. But again, that's something that goes on the refrigerator. And hopefully when that time comes and they need a care provider, that education that you put out there, that information is, you might not see it that day, but down the road, they're going to remember that call to action, that thing that you've got their information, you have that information now, and you can reach out to that client and potentially pick them up. So these are all things that you can do with your agency. And I honestly believe that, you know, as a home care agency owner, that when you do these certain steps, you are absolutely going to see that needle moving. Also, in your social media, it's great to be engaged. A lot of times people want to be forward facing, right? They just putting information out, but it's good to get involved in the comments, right? So when someone writes something, write them back. You know, let them know that you're engaged. Thank them for commenting. You know, again, it's the internet, so you might get some nasty comments. You can leave those alone or block them or whatever. Do whatever. But it's great to let them know that you're a real person, you're a real agency, that you have their best interest at heart, and that you're here for them and for their senior loved ones. So there's so much that you can do. I put a lot of stuff into the book. If you'd like to learn more, need more tips, that's my book, Swipe Right on Care. It's doing really well, and I hope you like it. Honestly, home care is my passion. You know what you do, especially after COVID. It really, you know, a lot of people want to age in place. They don't want to be locked into a building again. You know, there are times when, you know, someone needs to be in an assisted living center. You know, there are, you know, people that, you know, they're wandering, or you don't have the ability to take care of them in the home. I totally get that. But the vast majority of people want to stay in their own home. And what you do means so much. And it is a passion of mine. I hope this book can help you. If you're looking to build up more clients, more referrals, more recruitment, get great referrals and great reviews, this book has a ton of tips in there that can absolutely help you out. My name's Kevin. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, drop, save, give it to your friends, subscribe. I'd love to talk to you more. I'll have some more information coming out later. Hope you have a great day and look forward to chatting with you again soon.